Hi all. So we do not have quorum for this meeting, so it's not going to be an official meeting, but it will be an update on the town plan progress and how we are moving forward with that. Thank you. You want me to turn the camera on? Yeah, you leave it.
Recording in progress.
So a bit of a brief update on some of the town plan outreach. I did hear back from the MEMS school principal about the availability. They said that they would not be available to host our meeting in the spring. However, since then, contacted Burton, and they have two spaces available, April 28th, 29th, and 30th, which is right in our window that we were aiming for to stay on schedule. That's two spaces of the Student Center or the Founders Hall. I haven't been in either, especially I guess the new Founders Hall. I don't know if any of you guys have any preference one way or another. Otherwise, I told them I would stop by. I would stop by this week and check out both of them and see what we feel is the best space for holding our third sort of workshop.
Okay.
Do you guys have any preferences on dates before I pick any of these? Any of those April 28th? That is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yes. Now, just for reference, the Maple Street school meeting would be on Thursday, April 9th. And the visioning meeting at the Conic on Monday, the 16th. So we have Monday and Thursday already taken if we want to mix it up a little bit and do a Wednesday. Just for thought.
I was good. Tuesday, Wednesday's good for me. Want to do Wednesday?
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Wednesday's good.
okay. Okay, I will get back in touch with them, and then Peter, once I've picked which space, I'll let you know if you want to pull the trigger to confirm with them.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Same thing as something you did last time, you sent me the contact.
Yeah, thank you, certainly. I've been continuing to conduct some interviews with the town department heads, including, I did a Zoom interview with the former town manager, John O'Keefe, just to get his background because he was, manager for quite some time. And Peter, you've also been helping to coordinate a discussion with the town's select board. I did notice, we had talked about it made more sense for me to try and sit in on one of their meetings and get their input. And there's a meeting tomorrow night, but I looked at the schedule, it looks kind of full, but it's up to if we think I'd be open to meet tomorrow night if they wanted me.
I can run it past Scott tomorrow and let you know. Well, that's a good thing.
Okay,
Otherwise, it's 2 weeks out from next.
okay, so that's cutting it close before the meeting, but it's still workable, okay. It doesn't have to be before the meeting, I just thought it might be useful.
How much time do you think you would need from the select board if you were to do it in the meeting? Because it seems like it would be pretty
Right.
tight.
Well, I thought at the very least, at least introduce myself, give them a background of what sort of information I'm looking for and get them to think about some things. And then if the board has any comments that they wanted to share with me, they could have the board collect those and send those on to me. Otherwise, that could be a 3-hour meeting.
Kind of worried about for the select. Yeah, everything could channel through Scott. You know, if they have comments, they could shoot them off. I think it's a good intro. See what they're looking for.
I mean, I believe I already know what some of their big picture priorities are. In line with the planning commission, but I'd like to just get their perspective on things. The online comment form is only to see.
Just go back to the interviews.
Yeah.
Have you just had one interview with John O'Keefe, or have you had others with other members of the town?
Oh, no, I've had others with the others of the town, fire department, Parks and Rec. Let's see,
It's just
Peter Gordon, I still have to do Scott Murphy, Police Department. Anita, the town clerk, I've interviewed,
Right, Eric Stebbins,
Eric Severance, right?
sewer and water. Right.
Yeah, so,
That's great.
and I apologize, there was a glitch with that sign up sheet. I don't know what happened. It worked for Anita, it didn't work for Scott, so I'm just gonna go with, we'll just
Sure.
use phone and email to coordinate them going forward, because I don't know if there's a glitch in that sign up software. The online comment form on the webpage has only received one written comment besides yours, Peter. And I've attached that here just for reference in case you want to read that, since it's only one. And a couple of people signing up for emails in talking to folks around town and letting folks know about this process and the public meeting coming up. There's a much bigger interest in activation from people than you would expect from the one written comment. From what I'm hearing, people were very excited about this, so surprised we're only getting one written comment so far. The visioning survey I set up on SurveyMonkey, and it's technically live, it's just not published yet. I would be using the public meeting on January 20th to officially launch it and introduce it to the public. But I provided link and QR code here for you guys if you want to take a look at it. I'm gonna delete any comments that come in before the January 20th, so feel free to put in stuff, test it out, do whatever. I'm gonna be adding comments to it and test it out, and make sure everything works properly. And then I'll just wipe it before January 20th when it goes live. I also sent both you and Peter an email with that link if you want to share it, because the hyperlink here on paper doesn't do very.
You know, it's funny, sorry to interrupt, but, you know, you're gonna get given books, like proper books. My daughter's a big reader, so she gives me a book.
Right.
And I'm reading the book and I'm continually pressing words to get like a lookup or or flip a page or something. It's just, I would have done that. I would have been like, why doesn't this wait one? It's broken.
Yeah.
You say-
Yeah, I remember looking at a book once and they had a picture and I wanted to zoom in and I did
Yeah.
this on the picture and then it was like, wait, what am I doing? It's a book. Okay. And last time we met, there was some discussion about potential of the town maybe putting some advertising in a regular town mailing that might go out with like a town
Sure,
bill.
we missed a couple of opportunities.
Right.
Next one is March.
In March, and that might still coincide with some of the survey work, but if,
So we needed some time, probably 2 weeks into February, so we can get it to the March one.
okay. Okay, so I can provide that. And then sort of a last coordination item, when we get to the public meeting at the library. I wanted to offer if there was any town representative or official who wanted or preferred to do some sort of a welcome to the public and introduction to the meeting purpose. Otherwise, most of the time, I'm fine with just stepping in and running the whole thing, but sometimes people prefer, they'd like to have somebody stand up there from the town to say, welcome, everybody, thanks for joining us. Michael Allen, and so forth. So I'm putting that out there in case.
You asked Scott to mention it tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Would be willing. Greg is always good for something like that.
right,
Item, if he's got time, sure, we'd love to do that.
okay. Just wanted to offer
Is
that.
that the level of person you were thinking about, someone from the select board?
Yeah, essentially, I mean, typically, it's usually some politician who wants to stand up and say, like, it's a recognizable face.
Right.
I'm not as recognizable, but I'm also fine with just taking
You're getting
it
there,
though. I'm getting there though. And then by your suggestion, I did reach out to Bill Badger today just to let him know about this and say hi, because haven't spoken to him in a couple of years.
Bill Badger's on the Historical Society, or is that, he likes to call it the Hysterical Society.
Yes.
And I thought it was good, good momentum for him to kind of jump in and be involved, especially in light of all this back and forth over historical buildings.
Yes. Yeah, the Valvoline issue is definitely one that's gonna be a catalyst for people. And I'm not, it's not a bad thing that it might be something that activates people and gets them engaged and wanting to participate in this process. Maybe that's a silver lining. So that's good, but that's definitely going to be a topic. My role will be making sure that the meeting in January 20th doesn't become a single topic meeting. So,
David, as chair. This is a is this formally a planning commission meeting at the
This is
library? At the
basically,
library.
it's a function of the planning commission, but it's totally run by regrowth.
it's totally run by me. I'm announcing it as it's the planning commission is the lead on this effort. And it's co-hosted with the town. But otherwise, for all intents and purposes, I'm running the whole show on that day, unless you guys feel like you need to have some other.
I'll be there, I'll be around.
I usually like to have the committee or the commission, some representatives there in attendance, if only just to witness and listen to the public comments.
Right, and the reason why I'm asking is. I think the public intro / welcome should come from the planning commission.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Are you looking specifically someone from the select? board?
I don't care if it's select board or planning commission, it's just.
Yeah.
Someone in the official capacity of the town as a representative. But I don't require it. Sometimes I ask folks to do that and politician will get up and talk for half an hour. And we don't want that, we just want excellence. It's quick.
Yeah, I'm like 30 seconds, how about that?
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you actually, I would like to do the intro.
I think you should, if you're okay with that.
I mean, I would be okay with it, I was planning on being there.
We should all be there and we should at some point talk about the setup, like the actual setup and where individuals will be sitting. I assume. It would just be like our last meeting that we had there. In terms of where we sat, and if that's the case, then I definitely think.
Are you guys I don't know what the setup was, did you have a table where the planning commission sat separately, or did you?
Well,
just sit in the audience?
that's a good point.
We need
Good
that.
question. I don't know necessarily, but this is the opening visioning. So maybe it depends on what that looks like. Not minute by minute, but like, what the agenda
Yeah, my
piece looks like.
preference would be to allow Peter to run the show.
Yes.
I think having us up at the table, in a line, doesn't do any good whatsoever. I would be
My
happy.
professional opinion, you guys would be a distraction and a target.
Yeah, I'd be in the audience, I don't mind being in the audience, sitting there, making the
Well-
numbers look good.
And that's fine. That was part of the question, I guess, for me, that I didn't articulate is what should it look like? What has it looked like in other towns? And I think part of the reason why my brain was going that way, because of the last meeting that we held there, was a good significant number of people, even if they're watching us,
Yeah.
have no clue who we are. And sometimes, actually, in every case, that shouldn't be, that's not a good thing. They should, individual folks in the town should be able to look and recognize who the individuals are who are helping to rewrite this.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you need to be sitting at the front of the room.
Typically, I would recommend just, you're there, like any other member of the public in the audience sitting there. If you want, I can just say, you know, I'm working with the planning commission, many of whom are in the audience tonight, you raise your hands. But I don't want, sometimes I worry about people going. After any individual on a specific topic.
Okay.
And my role as a neutral moderator is to take everything to me. As far as I know, nobody has any bad, you know.
We'll find out.
So we'll find out, right. So that's what I would recommend, but I would definitely appreciate it if you guys were at least in attendance, just to hear things for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I definitely plan.
I like the idea of Greg arriving, you know, being there. I think that gives some weight to the project and the town plan.
I think they were there for the last one, weren't they?
I don't believe so.
No,
I don't know, but Greg's not a, it's, right, Ivan is the chair and he's the vice chair.
Right.
So maybe a separate order.
Just, I can make
Yeah.
a query.
Yeah,
And find out who would be willing to.
Yeah.
Speak on behalf. Right.
And again, it doesn't have to be a long, just a
Sure.
short
Welcome.
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Peter. So you got 30 seconds.
No.
So that was essentially the recap I wanted to give you guys right now at the moment. Working on finishing up the rest of the advertising over the next 2 weeks and preparing the presentation. So. I don't know if any of you have any thoughts, questions?
question, you'll give us the link, right, to put on the town website? Or the-
Yes, I
Okay.
think,
I
didn't I just,
got the link and I emailed it to you this morning. That's the link.
Oh, okay, and then agenda, is there gonna be one, or are you just gonna run it?
I'm just gonna run it. I
Okay.
mean, I usually will DJ this and read the room. As far as how to run the meeting, I'm basically going to start with an introduction of who I am, why I'm here, what this is about. A little bit of background, briefly, 5-10 minutes on some issues that we should be considering, such as demographic shifts in locally as well as state and nationally, that we should be thinking about. Changes such as, you know, input of like short-term rentals and other sort of larger big picture things that we should be thinking about, and encapsulate that with these are kind of the issues that a town plan deals with. It's not, there should be a stop sign at the corner of Maple Street. It's kind of bigger picture and kind of set that tone. And then once I feel like the crowd is kind of up to speed on all of that, start to invite more of a discussion and comments and so forth. We're going to have the Zoom component, which is going to be online moderated by Emily, who you met at the so she's going to help moderate that. So basically curate and run any sort of online questions that come through.
They'll come through the chat or they'll come through the
Come
audience.
through chat, just to be safe. I've seen some horror stories.
Yeah. That's.
So, and then we'll take it from there. How was the last meeting you guys did?
Really, pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think it went really well. I don't recall there being any. There certainly wasn't anything really negative said, or certainly not like a confrontation.
The only thing that happened, I think the doors got locked. They were automatically locked at a certain, when they
I
close.
think it's said.
It's an automatic lock, I think, so we have to make sure that.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I have poster or easel displays just set up at the door, and 2 of them, so that when people come in, it directs them down to the meeting room.
Right.
Um,
We have a sign-in sheet,
yes,
so we'll know.
sign-in sheet and info, like a little 1-page handout. With info, just as a take home. And that's it. And then after the meeting, within like a day or 2, I have a recording of the meeting up on the webpage, and then a day or 2 after that, I can have all the notes and everything up. So,
Good, looking forward to it.
What's that?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if there's anything
I
else.
think the big thing's attendance.
Yeah, my biggest nightmare scenario is hold this meeting and only 10 people show up. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, mine too.
So,
I just don't want that to be because we didn't know about it.
Did
yeah,
you mention the press release with Andrew McKeever?
Yes.
And you were going to do an article in the, journal?
he said he was definitely going to cover it, and I asked him for clarification. Do you mean before or after? And he meant after. I said, well, we were really hoping for some before coverage to help.
Was
you
he
know,
agreeable to that?
And he said he thinks that they can do that. He was gonna talk to somebody and he thought
Okay.
that they could do that. And then he pitched me the come into the studio and do a GNAT interview. And maybe that's a bargaining chip. So maybe I can get back to him and say, look, we might be open to doing that. Doing that interview. But I think he was I have to check the email. I think he was talking about like later in March for something like that, which is fine. And I might just want, if you wanted to maybe co-interview, I'd be up for that. I might give them some advanced questions as like hey,
So
these are some great questions to ask us. But I'm not gonna like,
That's helpful. Yeah.
I just don't want any surprises.
Right, I honestly, I would be surprised if that's the format they're thinking. It probably is just a simple announcement video.
Oh, that's right. He just said come in for a studio interview. That's so I didn't know what that meant.
Doesn't sound like what I'm describing, but I know they do the
Yeah.
announcement video, so
Right.
if that's all that it is, super easy.
Right.
And if you want, I can certainly help. They also have teleprompters.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You know, I just had
Yeah,
one.
person,
I had one nightmare scenario where I got interviewed by the New York Times and I ended up coming out sounding like an absolute idiot. And I've always been like, oh, God, I don't want to do that again.
Everyone's done, yeah.
Yeah. So,
If you don't get any positive feedback in terms of press beforehand, let some of us know and we can. We should reach out as well. Not to say that we'll submit a statement or anything, but it might help if it's coming from additional people to you.
no, that's fine. I did copy one other person at the Journal or someone who I thought worked at the Journal, a gentleman by the name of Gordon. I don't remember his last name. He's a guy I met a couple of months ago. But his email bounced. But I CC'd him because I met him at a library meeting one day and I thought, hey, I'll include him on this.
I might have his email.
Yeah, okay. I'm blanking on his last name right now. But I thought it might just get some extra traction since he seems to, if he'll show up for a Pollitt Library meeting, which actually that's big news now. Then I figured he'd be interested in covering this. So,
Excellent, thank you.
okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Is there anything else you need from us leading up to this? And anything you might need the day of?
I don't think so. I assume we're not, I still need to go back into the library and coordinate with them on exactly how the whole AV system is gonna work and the setup arrangements. They offered for us to use their official built-in system. That in hindsight might not work because if I'm running the Zoom and sharing my screen and doing it and doing all that, I can't necessarily run that show through their system and do the Zoom at the same time. So I just need to coordinate that with them.
Just do a little practice session.
Yeah.
That's what we did when we first had an attempt there.
Mhm. Cause I bring all my own equipment, so. That way I know. I know what I have
Right.
and I don't have any surprises.
Well, that's-
I don't like surprises.
I don't have any, I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. Anything from Robin, you wanna make any comment or?
She muted.
She is. She got me.
Yours.
Any questions and comments?
Any thoughts?
My thoughts are that this is an extremely, maybe the most important issue town has addressed in a while. Because it'll set the tone and direction for changes that are inevitably coming. I don't have any specific notion other than I'm gonna sort of go business to business prior to the meeting, encourage the owners to encourage their folks and ask their questions. In other words, just guerrilla marketing from Elaine may help just to encourage people to be there. And a variety of opinions will certainly arise, sure. Should be good.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good. We're good.
Hey.
Thank you, everyone. Got quite a meeting. Good information.
So we'll talk tomorrow.
Yes, and I set up, Scott and I are gonna sit down for his interview Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I think we're done.
We're good.
We can't do anything else, so.
We're no more business.
We can brave the roads, I guess.
All right.
Hope we get home
I didn't
safe.
expect all this attention just for me.
No, it's worth every second.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.